graph linear inequalities on Cartesian planes. So in this video, I have equation of lines, but these lines are very special. They are either vertical or horizontal. I'd like you to have a good look at these equations, pause the video, and then plot the linear inequalities and watch my video to see my suggestions or the solution. So we have two inequalities here. The first one is 2x minus 1 greater than 3. The other one is y plus 5 less than equals to 7. So we'll do both of them one by one. So let me first just make a graph for you, rather the Cartesian plane represented by x and y axis, correct? So this is the x-axis and that is the y-axis. Now since we are talking about two variables, one is x, the other one is y, we need 2D figure, so we need a coordinate plane which has x and y axis. However, these equations actually are kind of in one variable. They can always be represented by lines on 2D or xy or coordinate plane. So we have equation 2x minus 1 greater than 3. Let's simplify this. You could do 2x minus 1 plus 1 greater than 3 plus 1. That gives you 2x greater than 4, or x is greater than 4 divided by 2, which is 2. Simply, you can do this one also very similar to this. It is, you take away 5 from both sides and you get y is less than equals to 7 minus 5, or y is less than equals to 2, right? So these are the two equations. Now, I've seen students getting puzzled with these equations, and they really sometimes get confused which one represents vertical line and which one represents the horizontal line. It's kind of difficult at times. Now let's look into this equation, which is y is less than equals to 2. If you think about the equation, there is no x part, and if you remember, y equals to mx plus b, m means slope, slope is 0, and that is why you don't have the first part, right? So it is y is less than equals to 2. That is one way of looking into it. M is 0, that means a horizontal line, correct? That's one way of looking into it. Second is y is less than equals to 2. That means y is equal to 2 all the places or less than that, right? So that is how you can look into this equation, and that is what we are trying to say is either y is equal to 2 or y is less than 2. That is what we are trying to see. So let us say this is 1 and this is 2 and this is 3 for us, then y is equals to 2 all the places. That becomes a horizontal line, and since we have equal to as a part of solution, so we'll draw a solid line here representing y equals to 2, right? The second part is less than 2 is also a part of solution for us. Less than is always below it, right? So that is less than 2, right? So that is how we get y less than 2. Combination of these two is a part of a solution, right? Both. So we have a solid line representing y equals to 2 and y less than 2 by these green lines coming downwards, right? So that is what the inequality should be on a Cartesian plane. Now it's a good idea to check, right? It's always a good idea to check. So let's check with this origin. Origin is part of our solution, but does it work? At this point, y is 0. We'll just plug in 0 here, and what do we get? We get 0 is less than 2, and that is true. Since it is true, so the region which we shaded is perfectly fine. So that becomes a part of solution. Now let's move on to the first one, which is x is greater than 2. That means what? That means x is greater than but not equal to 2. Okay, so that means equal to will be a dotted line, kind of. Okay, that's what it means. So I get it. So let me just draw a dotted line at x equals to 2. So this is my dotted line where every point has x value of 2. Every point, right? This is, let me write it in different ink. This is 2 for us, right? So this is 1, that is 2. So this line really represents x equals to 2. It is not a part of our solution, but it helps to find a solution. That is why we are including it, right? And the part of solution is x greater than 2. That means everything to the right side, like this. Do you see? So when it is greater than, we prefer to draw our arrows pointing upwards, kind of like this. It gives you an idea of greater than, right? And moving right means greater than 2, right? That is how our arrows could be drawn, but it's not necessary. You can draw horizontal downwards anyway, but somehow naturally it just goes this side. So less than, the arrows came down towards left side. Do you see that? This is like a natural thing to, but if you have a pattern, well, this is a preferred pattern to draw. Anyway, now let's test it. So the test point is 0. 0 is not a part of our solution. Should it be? That is the question. So if x is 0, 0 is greater than 2 is false. Okay, so we know 0 is not greater than 2. So we are on the right side. So our solution is perfectly fine. So what you remember, what you should remember to draw linear inequalities on Cartesian plane is just two things. One, when you look into the inequality, does it include equal to sign or not? If it includes, then it's a solid line. If it does not include, it's a dotted line. And the second part you have to see is this sign itself. Sign tells you which side to shade. Do you see that? X greater than means, you see, it's shaded to the right. Y less than shaded to left or down. That is how it is to be done. And once you have shaded and done your job, it's a good idea to check it, right? So check with the help of origin. So these are the 3 steps which you have to follow always, always, always. So step number 1, step number 2, and step number 3. Let me put them for you. And of course, I forgot about solving inequality in the first place. So you may not get such a simple inequality in exam or to do. You may have an inequality like this. So first solve. Solve like an equation, right? That is better. Let me write. Solve like an equation. Forget about inequality. Solve like an equation and sketch the line, right? Now, then sketch line. But the important thing is, how should you sketch the line? So if you have equal to sign included, let's say if you have equal to with the inequality, let me write plus equal to, right? In that case, the line is solid. But if you do not have, that means if you do not have equal to sign, then that means a dotted line. That is what I'm trying to say, correct? So sketch your inequality. Remember, when you are solving your inequality, you have to keep your variables on the left side to follow the next 2 instructions. Follow the arrow to shade. So arrow, if this is like this, that means shade right up. Right up. And if the arrow is like this, then you should shade left down. Left down. Do you see that? That is how you have to shade, right? And the third point is, that's a good idea, and that is test with origin, which is 0, 0. So depending on equation, you can test with the origin itself. Is origin a part of solution? That is what the question is. The question is origin a part of solution, right? Okay, it always leads to solution. That's kind of important. But is it a part of solution also? Yes and no. So you just plug it in. If you plug it in and you get wrong inequality, is not the part. If you get the right inequality, it is the part, right? That is how simple it is. Follow these simple steps, and I think that should help you to sketch any inequality on a Cartesian plane. Move on, see some more examples, and I'll suggest stop the video, do them yourself, and then look into my suggestions. That will tell you whether you've really understood the concept or not, and then move on to the next topic. Thank you and all the best.